Thank you, Sandy, and I reiterate that welcome to all of you as special friends of this university and supporters, to the trustees, the foundation directors, public officials. It's certainly an honor and a pleasure to join you in making this announcement. I would hasten to say there's at least two other people here that I want to recognize. Miss Ann Williams, she was actually, her husband Red thought he was the athletic director, but Miss Ann was actually the athletic director. And I think I heard this morning from Dr. Ken Blankenship, and Dr. Blankenship, who now chairs or is executive director of the Sports Commission in Montgomery and was instrumental in bringing the Camellia Bowl to Alabama. Ken, welcome. And also Johnny Williams. I had a text this morning, and he sends his regards, and he's in North Alabama, but he would be here with us today. What an interesting process we've just completed, and I want to thank the members of the committee, the selection committee that participated, and I wanted you to know who those people are. Mr. Alan Owen, who is the chairman of our athletic policy committee, Mr. Jeff Coleman, and I know Sandy introduced Jeff. Is Jeff here? I know he's en route, but he and Tiffany were coming to be with us, and so anyway, I see somebody pointing back there, but I want to make sure that Jeff knows how much we appreciate him and the role that he's played. Mr. Randall Moore, Randall was coming up from New Orleans, and he participated as a member. Commissioner Carl Benson was so helpful, the commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference, and of course Dr. Doug Patterson. Not only was Dr. Patterson a member of the committee, but he coordinated this process and did just an extraordinary job, as he always does. And I want to thank him. But I believe that's Jeff and Tiffany. Thank you, Jeff, for being here. I need not tell you the great tradition of this athletics program. It was born 106 years ago, and our first athletic director was Virgil Parks McKinley, and he was actually the first head football coach at Troy, and we played our first ball game in 1909, and so we learned a long time ago that great tradition deserves and demands great leadership, and it's my pleasure today to announce the appointment of the 9th athletic director in the history of this institution. Before I do that, though, I'd be quick to say all of you are special, but our Alumni Association is such an integral part of this fabric. I want Dr. Bob Booth to know that we appreciate him. He's the president of our Alumni Association. Bob, thank you for being here. And I would be quick to say to Sandy, thank you for her leadership as interim athletics director. She is solid, regardless of her title. You can always count on Sandy and our staff. And let me ask you to join me in saying thank you for the role they played. Our applicant pool was the deepest and the widest and filled with the most quality of any that we've seen in athletics at Troy University. It ranged from sitting ADs at the FCS Division II and other levels to senior associate ADs from every major FBS conference. In fact, almost all of those conferences were represented through the top 10 FBS conferences. And we had executives who represent pro teams as well. So the talent pool, I think, in so many ways reflects the progress of our athletics program because of that level of interest. And I would be quick to say, too, thank you to John Hartwell. I heard from John via text this morning, and he is certainly, he's been involved in this process, but he was very helpful and did a great job as our AD. But it's my honor to introduce to you the next leader of Troy athletics. It was great committee work. We were dedicated to finding, and we talked about it a lot, fit. It's really important to have the proper fit in a situation like this because leadership is so critical, and the skills that we looked for We look for leadership. We look for integrity as the cornerstone of that leader. And we look for vision, not only demonstrated in the past, but also what was expressed about carrying us to the next level in Trojan athletics. And we agreed unanimously on one man. It's Jeremy McClain, who will begin with us September the 1st. And so we're on a fast track in terms of making this move, and I appreciate him being integral, and I know that he'll have some comments about some of our guests from the University of Southern Mississippi who have, and I really want to thank them for joining us this morning. Jeremy is a native of Mississippi. He holds the undergraduate degree and the MBA from Delta State, and he was an All-American baseball player. And then he joined the professional ranks and played professional baseball for 5 years, and then he began his business career in athletics when he was an account executive with Jackson Senators. That's a minor league team. He returned. He was drawn back to his alma mater in 2006, where he served as director of athletics, of development of athletics. And he did a great job in a short period of time and was elevated in 2007 as the director of athletics at Delta State, being one of the youngest ever to serve in that role at a Division II institution. Since 2012, Jeremy has served as Deputy Director of Athletics at the University of Southern Miss, and in that role he has been responsible for day-to-day operations, and he had a staff of over 100 employees. Under his leadership, and together with the leadership team of the Department of Athletics at Southern Miss, they set fundraising records, and we know that he will at least duplicate that at Troy University. The committee was impressed by all that we had, that we learned about Jeremy. And I wanted to share with you, and I could share with you hundreds of things that we did learn about him and quotes made, but I thought 3 or 4 comments were particularly relevant. Zero ego. It's about team. Great people skills. Has a presence about him that generates respect and confidence. And I'll disclose one comment that the head football coach made, and he said, if he goes to Troy, it'll be a big loss to Southern Miss. I'm sorry. Jeremy is joined by his wonderful wife, Christy. Christy, thank you for your presence, and we know that you bring that your own level of energy to this program, and we're excited about that. His son, Cannon, daughters, Kate and Piper, and we're thrilled that they're here today, and particularly welcome Jimmy and Ginger McClain, Jeremy's parents. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce to you the 9th and the newest athletic director in Division I, Mr. Jeremy McClain.